Hi, I'm Mark Sewell from SkiVisions. Now what I want to do is put some perspective into creating routines for how to tune a pair of skis. There's all these videos, and it's kind of chaos. And so I now have to put some order to the chaos to give you some routines so you'll know how to put these things in order. And I'm going to give you two routines. One is a routine that I do after every weekend, which is a little more detailed. And one is a routine I do every day, sometimes even at lunch if the snow's really hard. So if you're as picky as I am, you'll do the daily routine also. So let's get to it. Okay, first, if I've hit any rocks over the weekend, this is a routine for after every weekend. This is not the daily routine, this is after every weekend. If I've hit any rocks over the weekend, then I take the green stone, a couple of wraps of blue painter's tape. I need to take any rock damage off that raises off the bayside edge. And so all I do is with the blue painter's tape towards the inside, so there's a slight bevel on it, I just run it down the ski. I'll find those rock hardened sections, and when I find them, I'll remove them. I go down both the inside and outside edge with this procedure. And what it's doing is two things. One, it's knocking the tops off that damage. And the second thing it's doing is it's erasing the hardness that rock put onto the edge. The next thing I do is if the ski is still fairly new, I use the file base flattener. The reason I do this is because when you have high spots on a ski, on a new ski, you can take them off originally, but they tend to take a while before you get them all off. And so I'll use the file base flattener just really lightly, and for a while after getting a new ski, I will still find that I can find some high spots. And so I use this to quickly and lightly to remove those high spots. Then I do the outside edge, and I'm a guy who you all develop your own idiosyncrasies about tuning. I'm a guy that only likes to tune the edge that's away from me. So I'm always flipping skis on my vise because this is the outside edge, and I want this on the outside edge. I like to work only on, with the edge I'm working on away from me. And so I'll just use the ceramic stones on the outside edge. And what that does is it keeps the outside edge polished and keeps it slightly sharp. I don't tune my outside edge. I keep it fresh. I only tune the inside edge because I don't ski the outside edge. And I do it this way because I preserve that outside edge, because at some point in time in the life of the ski, this inside edge is probably going to get damaged with rocks. And so when that happens, I've got this great outside edge all ready to go, and I don't even have to worry about it. So I just keep it polished and keep it in really nice shape, waiting for the inside edge to finally get damaged. Now I'm going to tune the outside edge. I'm sorry, I think I said that incorrectly. Now I'm going to tune the inside edge. Remember, I tune with the edge away from me, but this time I'm tuning the inside edge. And how I do it is, I always start underfoot. I always start with the green stones, and I always start underfoot, about the section where the binding's located, and then I work my way out. And then I check it with a tuning stick. I want to see what my progress is. I want to see the status. And this edge is pretty good, but I want it a little bit better. So I take and I always rotate my green stones in the file pockets, and I drop it down lower in the side pocket. So I'm always using fresh stone face on the edge. I'm constantly moving my stones in the pockets, and that's the secret of making the ski sharp stones work so well. Same thing, start underfoot, work out towards the edges. There's another video where I describe why doing it this way. I'm just showing the daily routine now. I keep doing that until I start finding, now this edge is getting really nice. It's sharp, pretty polished. However, if I'm not getting it sharp enough, not quite as sharp as I like, I take a file and I put a file only in the side file pocket, because all the sharpening is done from the side file pocket. And I'll just go underfoot really lightly. And when you use stones to tune your edges with, they stay conditioned, and the edges stay conditioned, and these files just cut like crazy. And you got to brush that file out constantly with a brush that comes with the tool. Now, I'll usually do a final finish, which will be ceramic stones, unless the snow is really hard. And there's more video discussion about selecting the stones in the Ski Sharp video. But usually I do a ceramic stone finish. And what happens is that I now will get a really nice, really polished edge. Yeah, and there it is. Not too aggressive, biting the tuning stick, but it's very polished and it's very sharp. And if you ever felt my edges, you'll see they are smooth as glass, like they're always brand new edges. Now it's time for base finish. Keep in mind that I keep my bases flat. When I get a new ski, I flatten it and I keep it flat. If I didn't have a flat base, I would do it before edge tuning. But since I know the base is flat and I'm almost only finishing it, I always do my base finish last. I want the base clean, finished, nothing touching it after I'm finished tuning. And so I use the stone blade in the base flattener to refreshen the structure and to remove the convexity that will form on the ski in just normal everyday use. I keep it brushed out after every pass down the ski, and this keeps the edge, or this keeps the base structure fresh and flat. For final finish then, I use a steel blade. And the reason I use a steel blade I've discussed in another video, but I want to take the tops off the structure to flatten the very tops of it, and if there were any hairs put in with a stone blade, I want to remove it. So I do this very lightly with a nice sharp fresh steel blade, and you can just remove the tops of that structure. And keep in mind, if you have good lighting, you'll be able to look at your base and you'll be able to see anything on the base that is even slightly out of flat. There's no better way to read a base than using our stone blades and steel blades. If there's a slightest dip or a slightest high point, it will show vividly. Literally, you can't miss it.